starting to show its flaws, like right now, because we're at the end stages of it. This is like a natural progression, I think, in like the capitalist cycle.
Yeah.
And like whenever this starts to happen, whenever like people advocate such radical shifts in like the economics and like the government of society, like dude, that's like when giant wars happen, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think I mean I see your point. Like definitely capitalism has gotten corrupt, and it's a corruption that should have been expected because there's incentives to be corrupt,
Yeah.
right? So if those incentives exist, of course people are going to do things that don't necessarily benefit the majority of the population. They tend to benefit themselves.
Yeah.
So is there a solution to this? I don't really know, but there's got to be. So think about society. It's our current civilization was built prior to technology. Technology has existed for the last 30 to 40 years in its maturish form, right?
True.
Automation. So we have not designed a society with technology in mind.
We're not recording, are we? Because I'm like burping and shit. Like,
Oh yeah. No, not
are we
yet.
recording?
I mean, I did press record, but I mean, we
Oh
haven't really
shit.
done intro.
Okay. Excuse me, audience, if you're listening to this. I'm like burping and shit. But go ahead, keep going.
So what was I saying? So
Uh,
I don't think we've hit an optimal civilized sort of work mentality where we take technology into account for a lot of the stuff that we do. So
yeah.
that's where I stand. Like I feel like technology could solve a lot of these problems, but it's not going to be solved until we recognize what truly the thing that makes society kind of like function, and that makes society function is not necessarily jobs. It's more of like resources, sustenance, things like that. I mean, that's why we want jobs, is to feed our families, not to go and like do some fucking, clerk work or do some pushing papers just for the sake of pushing papers to have a
But
job.
like, but our economic model is not designed, for the only purpose of providing the bare minimum, like feeding our families. Like
Oh, for sure. No, I totally
that
agree. No, no,
that's
no.
human living 101. Like we've been capable of that since like the invention of agriculture. Like it's, I guess the capitalist model is more like
No, that's not true. Even during the invention of the agriculture, you didn't have enough resources for everybody.
yeah.
You don't have enough resources until you involve technology.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna like. The capitalist system is, how do you incentivize, like, I guess the most amount of growth as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
Like incentivizing all players involved. You know, I guess that not just capital. That's just like the debate of economics in general. Like, there's different models, right? Different philosophies.
Yeah.
But the idea, like when you're trying to run a society, like, or form a society, it's like, yeah, what are the end goals, dude? There's like, is the end goal to progress humanity like as much as possible? Is it just
Yeah.
so like
That's a
everyone's
good
happy?
question. That's a good question. Like what is the incentive of a civilization? What is its purpose?
Yeah, exactly.
And I
I
don't
think
think
that's something we've never even
exactly.
addressed as like a society.
Exactly.
Nobody knows.
Exactly. I was going to say exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
if
know
if the
either.
goal if the goal is, like you said, to feed your families, like
We could
just
have done
about
that
every,
20 years
yeah,
ago
like if that's the
if that
goal,
was a
like,
goal. Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Dude, 100% agree.
Yeah,
I don't think we've identified what the answer to that question is. And I think that could be part of the problem. Like
I think
maybe
so too.
if we understood as a planet, as a species, that we're trying to progress humanity forward, I'm sure we'd be operating differently. Because right now everybody's fending for themselves.
See, that's the problem though. Like, you need really, really smart people in charge. And like the way our government system works, it's just like there's too much chaos. There's too many opposing viewpoints. There's not enough collaboration. Like, we change the guy at the helm every 4 years. Like, yeah, it seems like a good model to like balance things out, right? So no one man or entity gains too much power in society. But what we're
dude,
advocating is like, dude, maybe
we were already
like,
lost.
huh?
Did you see Jeff Bezos earn like $13 billion by himself in a single day?
Like talking about during COVID because
Yeah,
everyone's using Amazon now because they have no choice.
yeah,
Basically, he has
yeah.
like a monopoly on like the market, like all markets
Well,
now.
and then I think his valuation went up 13 billion by a day.
Yeah, because of that, like
Yeah.
these investors know that like everything else is going out of business
Yeah, but
except for
you were
him.
just talking about how we have like some mechanism in place where there's no single power like overtaking everything. And
Oh,
then we
well,
have Jeff Bezos who's
yeah,
just
but he's
dominating.
doing it purely off of like the free market. He's providing a service and products to the world,
Yeah, I
and the market is using his service and
for
buying
sure.
his products.
For sure. I'm not
You
saying
know,
that there's some corrupt, aspect to Jeff Bezos. It's
I don't
just
either.
it's just the system has enabled something like this to happen, and whether it's a good or bad thing, that's something else. But something like the result of just Jeff Bezos uh wasn't a thing that we were trying to avoid, is what I'm saying. It's not a it's not like a thing where we were
But
trying to
okay,
prevent.
like in your utopic vision of society, where everything Jeff Bezos and people like him are essentially creating the technology
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
be the backbone of that future where everything is automated, everything's distributed like through technology. So do you prefer this model where this one man and this guy, this company is doing this, or would you rather it be like some government effort, like the
Nah.
government is creating this technology, they're distributing everything to people, you know fairly, like
See, that's the thing.
that's
Is
where the
like,
debate lies.
but nobody has the same definition of fairness.
That's
That's the
exactly, yeah.
problem. It's like one person that works really hard, whether it's like laying bricks or a programmer, like
Hmm.
fair to that from one perspective could be, well, the programmer might be doing more for society than the bricklayer. But then the bricklayer is also doing a lot more physical exertion and
Yeah,
should be given more. That's more fair to give that guy more.
yeah.
Like, how do you define fairness?
I guess
That's
fair in the sense like why it seems like there's new support for like this Marxist sentiment is because we're so far down the line of this capitalist system. There's been like generations and generations of people who families that started earlier on in this system. They tend to pass down their wealth to their generations that come after them. So that's where like this wealth disparity comes from. We have like a group of people, like you call them the elite class or whatever. They clearly have an advantage over the people who are new entrants into this economic system. Let's either you're an immigrant. The whole reason why this Black Lives Matter uh, movement is happening is because people who are African American in the United States, they feel like they are born at such a huge disadvantage because of
mm,
the history of slavery, meaning like
yeah,
the white people truthfully are the people who started the United States, so they were like the early adopters of capitalist society, right?
yeah,
They got all the land,
yeah,
they started all the businesses, they claimed all the resources and stuff, and then they passed all that asset wealth that through generation to generation. So today in today's economy, if you're like a byproduct of those early adopters, you just have like you know
yeah.
a way higher
Advantage, right?
advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think that's why like it's like a natural feeling of like once you get to this end stage capitalism moment, like fuck, people are just kind of fed up with it. Like
yeah.
there's nothing you can really do at this point other than just try and like tear it all down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why we're so into crypto is because it starts the first nail into the foundational aspects of civilization, which is money. And if
Yeah.
you can disrupt that, then everything else can be disrupted.
Hmm. But
So,
the same problems lie even in that crypto. Like
oh,
the
for
early
sure,
adopters of Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin becomes the new reserve currency. The people who adopted it earlier, they're going to be the new
the new money.
landowners. Yeah,
Yeah.
the new landowners of the 16, 17, 1800s, like, and then the future generations going to be like, fuck, just because my great great grandparents didn't invest in Bitcoin, like now we're destitute to like poverty for the rest of our lives. You know what I mean?
Well, going back to the technologist view as the answer to everything, like sort of like the utopic kind of argument that you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
it's not about like utopia. It's about understanding the bare necessities for humanity and being able to provide that through technology. And
Mm-hmm.
that's it. That's that's when what you boil it down to, it's just the ability to provide the necessities at the cheapest possible way. And I think, like I said before, it's done through automation, and that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody can't get a Ferrari if they have the resources for it, like monetary
So
resources.
is that why technology is advancing? It's not like just some innate force of like nature where like smart people just want to advance technology. Is it because of the economic incentives for it?
I think that's
Like
part
you
of it, but I think the other part is the challenge of it. I think technology will progress not because of the monetary incentives every single time.
yeah.
I think the monetary incentives and the progression of technology just happen to be so well aligned that it seems like that's the only explanation for it. But I think when you present a problem, somebody will figure it out, and
Mm-hmm.
usually it's figured out with technology.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting that barrier in front of a human, that human will try to figure out how to get beyond that barrier. Remember, I mean, it wasn't too long ago where we thought that we couldn't break the sound barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just because we think we can't break it, it doesn't means that there's an incentive to break it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you take that concept, because that concept is completely removed from a financial incentive, there is no necessarily an obvious financial incentive to break the sound barrier, but somebody
Mm-hmm.
did it, right? I mean, obviously there is in a sense that you want to get there faster, but I mean
Yeah, I
that's
think
besides the
those are
point.
like, but those are the pioneers and the true scientists of the world,
Yeah,
which
but
are
but
very.
those true scientists are the ones that make progress for humanity.
I agree, but the ones who actually apply these advancements are like the capitalists. The people who use these new
For sure.
technologies to
It's
create some
like
kind of market value, right?
imagine
So
SpaceX wouldn't exist if there was no such thing as NASA.
yeah,
So
totally.
so there's always these pioneers. Like I guess you would consider Elon a pioneer, but all he's done is taking existing technology and just commoditize it.
So yeah, so would it be more efficient? Like, say Elon. Okay, Elon's a great example because I based off everything I've heard from the guy, he could be like a master con artist. I doubt it, but based off everything I know about him, he's 100% motivated for the greater good of humanity and society.
Wait, where did you hear he was a con artist?
No, I'm saying he could be a
How?
con artist, like by portraying this image of like he's all about
Oh,
humanity, and if
sure.
he's like some evil genius, he's just using this as like a
As a
good PR.
facade, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in reality, he's just like an evil fuck. He just wants money to one day just nuke the world or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could happen. Crazier shit has happened before.
Yeah.
But my point is, so he had to go through the whole struggle of like financing his endeavors through our capitalist system, meaning like he had to start up from scratch, build businesses, build companies, make them into successful ones, and then start new ventures, yada yada, to the point where now he's probably like top 100 richest men in the world.
Yeah.
Would it be better if we like identified people like that earlier on, and like as a society just throw them up and catapult them and like just give them the infinite resources possible to just create all the infrastructure we need to like have the most efficient production models, or you know what I mean, like
Well, I think at first it's hard to identify people like Elon Musk before they become Elon Musk.
it's kind of like they have to
They
they
have to,
have to go through that
yeah,
gauntlet of
yeah.
of the market in order to prove themselves, right?
But you know, in this sort of scarce civilization where you have people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, who went through the gauntlet and became successful,
Mm-hmm.
those you could argue that they were sort of, in a sense, lucky, not by sheer luck, but by a combination of environmental factors, access to information, and all kinds of these things. Where if in a separate reality, if everyone had all the resources necessary, you might have several Elon Musks, you might have
Mm-hmm.
several Bill Gates and so
That's
forth,
true.
and not necessarily more Elon Musk doesn't mean more competition to space. It's more like you have an Elon Musk for space, you have an Elon Musk for computers, Elon Musk for agriculture. Like you have these leaders in these different spaces just because there's so much more resources available for the entire planet.
Mhm.
So I feel like, because like right now you go look at third world countries and there's billions of people who are starving on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
many?
we don't know how much potential those people really
Dude,
have. Like, it's
exactly,
insane.
exactly.
It's just wasted human potential.
Yeah, exactly. So how many Elon Musks right now who are children are starving to death?
Hmm.
So that's what I think about.
Well,
Like,
I'm sure there's quite a few.
yeah.
It's insane. It's actually kind of depressing to think about it, dude. We could have like had our next Nikolai Tesla or whatever out there
Mm-hmm.
in Bangladesh, India, or what, I don't know, some part of India. Like you said, he's barely has enough to eat. You
Yeah.
know, that's fucked.
See,
That's
but
really fucked.
I don't know if
So I guess that's what you're talking about as far as luck goes. Like the
yeah.
so again, this ties into, yeah. You'll never have a fair system, dude. It's just, at least not anytime soon. I mean,
I
that word
agree.
fair might not even should be like part of the equation.
It shouldn't even be part of the vocabulary. Like, what is
Yeah.
fair? It's just subjective.
But still, there's always that. It's
There's
like part of our emotions and human behavior. Like, man, you always look at the other guy, the guy next door, he's got more than you. And
mhm.
you just naturally get jealous and envious and shit. And, you know,
Yeah.
the majority of people, it's just part of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's sort of almost
Sorry.
natural to kind of always like look over the fence and feel like
Compare yourself, right?
compare yourself. Feel like it's always greener on the other side of the fence, but many
Mm-hmm.
times it's plenty green right around you.
It's true. Yeah,
Many
you don't
times it's plenty
realize that,
green.
man. You need people need perspective.
Totally
I,
agree.
I think a lot of that a lot of what we're seeing today in our culture has to do with that as well. Like, we're a generation of people, like, we haven't experienced true hardship, from a
Yeah.
historical perspective. When it comes to, like, if you think about our ancestors and what they had to deal with compared to like our lives, like the last 30, 40 years,
Yeah, for sure.
like a lot of us have no idea, like,
I don't know if I've ever explained this to you, man, but I remember I sort of like realized that this is a thing within humans. I
yeah.
remember talking to my little sister, I think before she got into high school, and she was telling me that she was taking all these classes, and then she told me she feels stressed. I'm like, I'm thinking, I've already, graduated college, and I've gone through, like a office job, and I've gone through some stressful situations, like objectively stressful, right? And
Yeah,
then she's
definitely.
telling me that she's stressed. So I'm thinking,
From
it's like,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm thinking,
but
it's like,
but she's like straight A's, right? She's like
yeah,
working her ass off in high school too, right?
yeah, for sure. So yeah, she's
Yeah.
like
she's
dominating
she,
school and all that, right? But
yeah.
the point is that she feels stressed, and what my realization is that I think with the lack of perspective, people get equally as stressed as Elon Musk gets stressed, or Bill Gates, or the president of the United States, or anyone who you think is actually objectively stressed and they should be stressed. I'm pretty sure that when you and I get stressed, or my little sister or anybody else, the the amount of stress that they feel is equivalent to the stress that Elon Musk feels because they lack the perspective. Now, if my sister or you and I were to hang out with Elon Musk on a daily basis and understand everything that he has
Yeah.
to deal with,
Yeah, from a
we would
perspective
never feel
standpoint,
stressed.
yeah, you're saying like from your own perspective, like you're like you feel the pressure of stress, but
You
when you
shouldn't.
when you objective, yeah, from an objective standpoint, like what you're dealing with most of the time is like nothing.
It's
Like,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand. And there's actually like ways to verify. Just look at the president's like 4 years
Yeah.
before and after
Yeah.
photos, dude. They literally age
Yeah. Yeah.
20 years during like a single term.
Yeah. That's right.
It's actually insane. So that's like
But
objectively one of the most stressful things you could do to your body is like become a president.
there's no doubt about that. But
Yeah,
I would also say that, between the ages of 35 and, well, I think you tend to age, you tend to look like you're aging faster the older that you get,
that's
right?
true. There's
So
also that too.
I,
Yeah,
I, I bet you if you put in a 20-year-old president, he's not going to age as obviously as someone who starts presidency at 50.
I don't know. Just can't test that, unfortunately. I think
Well,
35
no.
is the cutoff.
No,
But
for sure.
even
For sure. That's
Obama,
what,
dude, I think he was like 42 when he entered office, and I think what was he 50 when he left?
yeah,
That's
but
still relatively young, you
no,
know.
it is young for sure. But what I'm saying is like genetics. I mean, people would just age differently already, naturally,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we can't
Yeah.
really we can't say that Obama aged this fast because of presidency. He might have aged that fast regardless.
True. You never know.
But anyway, the point is that
But
perspective. People lack perspective, and when they lack perspective, they tend to say things like they're stressed. When you and I, we've gone through some shit where we know that somebody in high school cannot possibly be stressed, right? Because we think going
yeah,
back to high school, that was like the easiest times that we've ever had.
yeah. But see, then the only thing in her defense is like when I was in high school, dude, I was fucking off the whole time, you know.
No, for sure, yeah, but
She might
still,
actually be putting like, well, I know for a fact she actually is putting way more emphasis into her, success in her educational career than I was.
yeah,
So
yes.
I
I'm not,
guess
yeah.
for her, for a young person, like that's stressful. I guess.
For sure. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be stressed at all. But
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying is if she had the perspective, she would understand it's like, hey, what I'm going through right now is hard, but it's nothing like when I spent time with Elon or
Yeah,
when I
true.
spent time with the president. Like that's what I'm doing is easy, so I should take advantage that the difficulty that I'm experiencing right now is like a privilege.
Yeah, I think that's probably also a factor into why people like Elon exist. Right, there has to be something in their DNA
Oh,
where
for
they can
sure.
handle
Yeah.
insane amounts of stress like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it is. It's just like composure, whatever gene like Tom Brady has.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
composure where like no matter what stressful situation he's put under, like he
Yeah.
performs 100%. He always executes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
always fucking gets that touchdown when there's like a minute left on the clock.
Yeah.
He's got that. There's somebody needs to sample that DNA and find out what that gene is and give it to the rest of us, dude, because it's
Yeah.
OP as shit. So only like a certain amount of people are blessed with those abilities.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean,
That's how they get into such high positions in society, right?
yeah, I mean,
It's got to be.
there's a reason why he's got 5 rings.
I think he's got 6,
Oh,
dude.
there's 6 now.
Wait, does he have 6?
Jeez.
Fuck, dude. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't
Brady.
think anybody's gonna beat Tom Brady.
He's got 6, dude.
6. Jeez.
Wow. Dude, what a fucking boss, dude. Fuck that guy. That's what I'm talking about, dude. He's too
Hey,
good.
he's not afraid to cheat either. And that's
Oh, shit.
well,
What does that
that's
mean?
what happened, right?
Oh, dude, then there's that
It's not
argument of
allegedly.
like,
He cheated.
no, I know.
He deflated the ball. So
And they spy on like other teams during
and the
practice
spy,
and
yeah,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I mean,
So that might be another key quality to like
yes.
mass success is like being willing to break the rules and like
yeah.
be a little bit of a sociopath, like fuck everyone but me mentality.
But you know what? Like, let's say, you're raising a child and, what do you do? Do you raise that child in the environment that they're being raised in? Like in 2020, the society that we live in right now where cheaters often get the ring, right? Or do you tell them, Do you tell your child, try to be as honest
Integrity.
and have high integrity and be, ethical with all your decisions.
Yeah.
Like they're put in, to me, it seems like they're put in a disadvantage if you tell them that,
Yeah.
because you're gonna, you know, like you ain't trying if you ain't cheating.
It's true, man. It's a tough world, dude. Like just going 100% like Puritan style, like just play by the rules.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best idea. I don't know, man.
I
That's
mean, it's good for your soul. You'll probably be those people who end up living to like 110 years old, right?
yeah,
You have like less on less
less
like
on your
less
like
on your
conscious.
conscience. Yeah,
Yeah.
like eating away at your fucking heart. Like every day is just like
See,
your
I
heart.
don't even know if that even is a real thing, dude. Like,
I feel like it is because I actually don't know. I'm just speculating, or I'm just drawing like uh I don't know, two different pictures, I guess. Because yeah, the guy on the left is the guy who said fuck all that honesty, integrity nonsense. It's
yeah.
all like ruthless greed and capitalism and like competition
Yeah,
and
but
like
you know what?
all every man for himself,
That
right?
mentality is what is rewarded in this society.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
So that's what
That
you.
guy is going to be up here.
Yes, exactly.
But he's gonna fucking die at 60 with a stroke, you know, like the other guy is just gonna be like chilling like
I don't
on the
know, dude.
fucking, you don't know.
That guy over there, he's like, hey, I'm just playing the game. I'm just playing the game that we're all playing right now. I just
That's
happen to
true,
understand
man.
the rules
Just
a lot better.
there's plenty of like dinosaur politicians. It's not so,
Yeah.
and all those fucks are on that corrupt category. You know,
Right.
like they
Right.
those are the people who don't play by the rules. Those are the people who don't have the integrity. So and they're over here living to 1,000 years old. You know, fuck.
Yeah.
So you're probably right. It probably has nothing to do with it.
I feel like if I was faced with like, having to bestow wisdom on somebody, I would be the wisdom that I would tell this person would be the truth. It's like there are people out there that will cheat to get ahead. You need to
Yeah,
be aware of that happening, because I mean, if you're not aware of that, then you're just gonna get left behind.
totally.
But
But yeah, so we talked about this because
well,
the
Bitcoin,
idea is to kind of like, and I think it's important for everyone to do. We used to do this a lot more often, kind of like have like a little macro analysis of what's going on in the
yeah,
world. You know, for one, because we were a lot more invested in like you know, keeping up with Bitcoin's price movements and stuff like that, and we still are.
yeah.
And that's why it's really important to talk about it right now, because Bitcoin is at, it feels like it's at some critical juncture where it's been hovering at 9,000 for like I'd say 2 or 3 months now. So I feel like
It
some
feels
radical
much
move is on
longer.
its way.
It feels
Huh?
much. It feels much longer only because I mean
Well,
we.
it was at this price before COVID, and then it dumped,
Yes.
and we're right back here. And so it's almost like we've been at 9,000 for like a year. It feels like
Yeah. Yeah, because around this time was when it got to like 14,000 last year.
something like that.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah, you're right, because we started the podcast
In
in March of
February,
last year.
yeah, March 2019,
Probably like 3 months in, like there's like
it
this insane
exploded.
run up to 14K,
Yeah.
and then a correction, and then like we were hovering around 9K, and then in February and March of this year, everything shit the bed for about a month, maybe
Yes.
two, and we recovered, and now we're just hovering again, waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah.
So it's important to like understand what's going on in the world, because we saw an 80% drop in Bitcoin's valuation because of what was going on in the world, the COVID,
Yeah.
you know,
That's right.
and I don't know if you've been paying attention to it. Like we're pretty much right back where we were in March, dude. We got the president making daily fucking COVID reports and shit.
Yeah.
We got the virus is just, it's not even
It's
fall
getting
yet, dude. And
yeah.
we're already experiencing this.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually getting worse. It was worse before the shutdown actually started. There's a lot more people sick now than there was when
Oh yeah.
we shut down.
Yeah, but I think now it's the problem is it's become politicized in our country, at least. You know, it's a problem for us. I don't know, people from other countries, you might have like a better grasp of it or handle on it. It's just in our country, man, like where our big thing is like individual freedom, like it's starting to show its ugly head where
Yeah.
like that has its repercussions,
Yeah, yeah, for
where
sure.
like people have so much freedom to where they want to disobey like government mandates, right?
Yeah.
Like these mask orders and shit.
Yeah.
It's political. Like if you're wearing a mask, you're like you're a fucking liberal pussy. If you're not wearing a mask, you're like this red, white, and you bleed red, white, and blue Republican diehard Trump supporter, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what it's all about right now, and
It's
it's
crazy.
causing
It's
problems.
it's
Like,
crazy because people are trying to, go get groceries without masks and they're getting kicked out, right?
yeah.
And
Now you
it,
see these Karen memes like spawning
exactly.
all over the
Yeah, I
fucking
was just gonna
internet.
say, yeah. It's like
Like
there's
middle
like
class
raid
suburbans,
Karens.
huh?
There's like raid Karens who like call on the police and like there's like a whole showdown and everything.
Yeah, dude, it's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
great meme material, but it's really fucked up, dude. Like,
Yeah, I think they forget that in an established store, you don't have to serve anybody that shows up. You can
yeah,
deny service to anybody that you want.
that's
And
right.
you typically deny service to people without shirts, pants, or shoes.
Hmm.
And now it's anyone without masks, they don't provide service to. And so they
Yeah.
think that it's against the law to like kick somebody out, which is not the
Hmm.
case. But it is interesting. We're having a flurry of Karens out there, and it just it reveals how educated a lot of these people are. They're
Yeah.
uneducated.
So like all the government stimulus that started in March is pretty much this is it. This is the last month where the we're tapped out after July. Like all of that unemployment supplement income and shit, that shit ends this month in like a week.
Yeah,
So starting next week, we're gonna get a way better picture of like how the status of the economy really is.
yeah.
I'm already seeing some like super alarming numbers. Like I think like 31% of people missed June's uh, like mortgage payment.
Oh damn.
So coming next month, if we're still like around 30%, you're gonna start seeing an insane amount of housing defaults and probably like a housing market crash worse than we saw in 2008. And that could be what starts and catalyzes like this economic downturn that I've been
Yeah, you know,
hampering about for
I,
like
I
a
I
while
laugh
now.
not because it's a funny situation, but I laugh because it's extremely possible what you're saying.
Yeah, because right now people are still they don't get it. Like everything seems kind of peachy, other than the fact that you have to wear a mask, but like everything's still open, right? Like
Yeah,
you can still go get food.
yeah,
Hyperinflation hasn't really kicked in or anything like that.
that's
Prices
right.
of meat is starting to go up a little bit, but and people are noticing that, but we're still okay.
Yeah,
But it has a lot to do with the fact that there's like $16 trillion being pumped into the global economy
yeah,
from like printed artificial nothingness.
yeah.
you know,
And 3 more trillion is coming.
yeah, more is coming. They're doing as much as they can to like keep this boat afloat. But once all this shit runs out
Yeah,
and we're left to an actual like free market income and shit, like, dude, that's whenever the real picture is gonna start painting.
it certainly doesn't seem sustainable for sure to keep
And it's
pumping in
not.
money.
And the idea was like hopefully we can keep the economy propped up to the point where we get a better handle on the coronavirus. And like I said, we haven't. It's gotten worse, and it's going to get worse. We haven't even entered flu season yet.
No, and on top of that, I think one of the pharmaceutical companies was able to discover at least a version of a vaccine, and like they've got an order of like 90 million units by somebody, by like a country or something.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, and
That's
like
another problem.
it's only gone through like phase 1 testing, and it has to go through several phases. So I mean, who even knows if this is going to work? And if it does, the logistical nightmare of trying to get vaccines to everybody. I mean, imagine if it's already difficult to get tested, getting an actual vaccine is going to be that much more difficult.
Yeah. And then to add on top of all this, it's an election year for the United States.
That's right.
Probably one of the most highly
Yeah.
contested elections of the history of our country
Yeah.
is going to happen in like 3 months.
So what's your prediction?
Dude, I have like a couple of scenarios in mind, and none of
Shit.
them are good. Because I think no matter what happens, literally, there's a segment of the country. I mean, we call them the far left, these Antifas. They look like a joke. I talked to a lot of people, and people kind of discredit this whole Antifa movement. You know who they are, right? These Antifas.
Anti-fascists.
Yeah, the guys, who have the big gauges in their ears and like the big spiky hair, and they wear all black, right? But they represent the far left
Okay.
mentality of our culture.
Okay. Yeah.
Anarchist, anti-capitalist, whatever. They seem like, yeah. See, I can make fun of them now, based on their appearance and shit. They seem like nothing to worry about, but they are growing in numbers. People are starting to align more and more with their philosophy. You're starting to see more, like in Portland, Oregon. There's been literally riots every night for
Yeah.
like the last month.
Right.
They're burning down buildings. They're taking over like police sectors and shit like that.
Yeah. Burning down
And
police stations.
yeah, and the shitty part is like the mayors of these towns are doing nothing about it. In a lot of cases, they kind of like just turn a blind eye to it. They call it like freedom of speech, yada yada yada. But anyway, the reason why I talk about these people is because no matter what, like if Trump gets reelected, there's going to be hell in the streets of people who are going to claim like it was fraudulent. He cheated somehow. There's no
Yeah.
way this motherfucker legitimately won this election. So there's going to be riots in the streets for that.
Yeah.
If he loses, Trump more than likely is going to create some kind of narrative that like somehow the left
Yeah.
did some sort of like skeevy shit to get him out of office, and he more than likely he's going to refuse to leave his position. That's what I think is going to happen, and I think there's going to be some far right supporters who are going to back him up on that, and
Yeah.
then there's going to be blood on the streets for that. There's going to be people who be like, "No, fuck that! You guys are trying to ruin our country and our electoral system." Like
Yeah.
Trump's our true president. Those are the two scenarios I have painted in my
It
mind.
seems odd. Let's say, I mean, obviously those scenarios are quite possible, but what I think is to have something like that happen would be kind of pointless if Trump gets reelected. It's for 4 more years.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 more
But
years.
do you think if that happens, like everyone's just gonna be like, okay, all right, let's all just go home? I guess four
No,
more
no, no,
years
for
of this.
sure, definitely not. I think either way, whether he loses or he wins, there's going to
Mhm.
be a riot from one team or another team. So,
I think so too.
but my prediction is Trump is going to win again, just because there's so many rabid Trump fans who actually think he's doing a good job.
Well,
And
they're not even rabid, dude. They're like quiet right now. You know what they're doing? They're quietly arming themselves.
well,
In
yeah,
the month of June, dude, record gun sales. 4 million guns were bought in June, and these
damn,
aren't like liberals buying guns. Liberals hate guns. These are
yeah,
like the quiet conservatives over there waiting for this war to break out. Like if you talk to these people, and I have, they're all talking about civil war, literally. They're all anticipating it. They're waiting for it to break out. That's why they're all arming themselves to the teeth.
yeah.
You know, it's a problem, dude, and it's an unfortunate thing. It seems like something so far fetched that like it can't happen, but there's plenty of historical evidence that these things happen, dude.
I,
You know?
I find the logistics of a civil war to be interesting. Like,
Yeah.
how do you know what you're shooting at if you're shooting at anything?
I don't think it's not going to be like the Civil War we're familiar with, right? Like the
Right.
mid 1800s where you line up with a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of stupid muskets and shit. It's not going to happen. I think it's more going to be like you're going to see militias forming, which they already are. There's militias on the left clearly. These Antifa is a militia.
Yeah,
They're
right.
armed, they're violent, they're dangerous, they want to kill. They want an uprising.
Yeah.
On the right, there's already been militias. Like they're privately, secretly organizing. There's militias present. So when you see like the population, it doesn't have to be like the whole country's fighting each other. It could be like 1% of the country.
Sure, sure.
I think that's what 3 million people, dude. That's a lot of people
Yeah.
fighting. That's a civil war, and they could just attack each other, whatever little compounds they come up with. Like the Antifa already has their fucking Chaz zones and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, you know. So that's a clear target to go attack if you're like a far right militia, right? You just assemble and you go kill as many of them as you can.
I'm not denying that that's not a possibility, but what I'm wondering is like, how do you know when you win? And then, well, how do you know what you're shooting at regardless? Like if I was on one side or another armed, I would look like the other side so that
Yeah.
I'd, be a little bit more smarter than, wear team red or team blue. Like that doesn't really make sense. So, I mean,
Okay, yeah, you're arguing like pure
oh, yeah,
logistics.
pure
Yeah.
logistics. Like how, like I just don't understand what's the point. Like,
Well,
okay, you kill the other side, but there's still, 150 more million people who can just switch sides, on a given day. Like,
yeah.
I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. It's not sustainable to be like this.
See, I thought like you too. Like I was like, dude, it's impossible. No matter how much you hate like the established order of things and how things work, it's impossible to change it. I thought to myself, like, no matter how big this Antifa far left movement becomes, they might want revolution and like a new society, but it's never going to happen. And then I started doing some history on World War II and Hitler and the Nazi Party. That shit started even at a smaller scale than what we're seeing right now. It was just Hitler himself. He was like a disgruntled World War I veteran.
Yeah.
Who was like super upset about the Treaty of Versailles, whatever, because of how fucked the Germans got. And he just started spitting his propaganda in a local bar, like a pub where he's from. And it just snowballed into a tiny little revolution. Maybe like a couple hundred people went into the streets of like their downtown district or whatever, and they tried to start a coup. They went around burning shit, just like what we're seeing today.
Mm-hmm.
And they got squashed, by the police. They threw Hitler into jail for a year. While he was in prison, he wrote Mein Kampf. And then once he got out, he published it. And then his propaganda spread throughout the whole nation of people who are pissed off.
Yeah.
Because their country got so fucked by the World War I treaty that all of a sudden everyone's like believing in his propaganda, like the same shit we're hearing today. It's all about anti-establishment, anti-capitalism. And so he proposed that he has all the solutions and people believed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it snowballed from there. 10 years later, this motherfucker's taken over half of Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you got to ask yourself, like, how is it possible that one man can convince like an entire nation to do the atrocious things that they did during World War II, right?
Well, it's belief. I mean, that's how anything gets these atrocious things happen because of belief.
Yeah, but it starts like it doesn't start like you're a full-on radical,
For sure.
Right? It starts it starts as just like a small seed.
Yeah, I totally get where you're going.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you should watch. I think it was on Netflix. The show called Hate Thy Neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
It's this comedian. I think he's half black and half white, but he looks black. But anyway, it's this comedian who goes into these different silos of society, like white supremacy. He goes and talks to these people, like has conversations with like a bunch of these guys, and then it goes to a different group, I forget what the Antifa. He goes to talk to the police. I mean, all these hate groups. He talked to every single hate group. Nazis. He spoke to all of these guys. And what was interesting is that these guys, these people in these groups, they have such a hard belief in what they're fighting for that nothing gets to them. Nothing gets into their mind. There's no new idea. There's nothing new that can convince them that what they're doing is probably not okay. Like,
and that's dangerous too, because like that never ends.
It gets perpetuated, and all these people have kids, and what do they tell their kids? The exact same thing that they believe in, and so it perpetuates. But what was interesting was these groups, as hardcore as they are, they're not very big. They have like meetups.
No, they're not.
They show these meetups, and there's like tens of people there.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like, like most of the time rednecks in the woods, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
As bad as it gets, like they'll dress up and they'll LARP a little bit. Like,
exactly.
And then they'll have like a little barbecue and then call it a day. You know, wave their Confederate flags around.
Yeah, exactly.
we're chilling.
Literally, that's what happened. Like these Nazis, they just they try to get this huge swastika up to burn it, and like they showed them struggling getting it up, right? And then they burnt it, and everybody was just looking around, just like, yeah, we did it, and let's go get some beer. Like it wasn't like this, like organized group that it's.
Yes, yeah. I don't worry about those. Those are dead movements. Like those ain't going nowhere. This is some new shit though, and then I think like the political and economic conditions are ripe for some shit like this to go down. At least not yet. Like if the I predict like the economic situation has to be way worse than what it is today. Like I said, we're all still kind of chilling, but we're not going to be chilling. Like if a year from now, like we could barely go to the grocery store and afford like food because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And then if a scenario like that occurs, 100%. You're going to see,
I agree. Yeah, shit, man. When you can't feed your family, then you're talking about a real civil war, like a real one.
Or just a real uprising, because it's going to be real easy to paint the picture of, see, this is all capitalism's fault. If we would have had like a communist, socialist system, everybody would have been taken care of. Join us, and we're gonna change this system.
I don't even like talking about socialism because in communism, because it discounts like this new concept called technology. Like, just because technology can provide food for everybody, for the entire planet, like literally, it would cost almost nothing to provide food for 7 billion people. Like, think about that. Why that idea is automatically socialism doesn't make sense to me. Because socialism doesn't account for technology. Like, socialism is the act of giving everybody the resources based on this premise of scarcity. Like you have a society of 7 billion people, and they know that there's not enough food, yet there's some entity out there, some Illuminati, who's trying to give food for everybody. And so then you're thinking, well, if you're trying to give food for everybody, there might actually not be enough food for everybody. So I don't agree with that logic. And so now with technology, there's more than enough food, right? There's more than enough. So why not provide that to everybody? Why not? Like, what's the issue with that?
Yeah, but how do you do it though?
Well, more technology. Like it. You can't even ask that question because it's not even the right question to ask. It's more of like, okay, we have all this food in this section of Earth. How do we distribute that food? Well, we create technology to distribute that food. Or we take that technology that made all that food and implement it in other locations.
But you're laying out like a groundwork that it doesn't exist in our economic model, meaning like there's no incentive to do that. So why that's why it's not happening.
Well, so I agree. The incentive would be to answer the question, what is humanity doing? Like, what is its purpose? Yeah. And if its purpose is to progress, to improve, then the incentive is obvious. Right, because listen, if you feed everybody, we have more chances for Elon Musk to exist.
I 100% agree with the problem. See, the thing is, that's why Marxism is so sexy and attractive, dude. Communism, all this stuff, because on paper it sounds like utopic. It sounds great. It sounds like if we adopted this, nobody would be starving to be like a great society, but. So that's why so many throughout history it's been attempted so many times. But dude, you can't trust humans with this kind of responsibility, like because in order for this to happen, there has to be some kind of central authority with not AI, humans in charge.
Right,
people have to do this, and whenever you put that much power into the hands of a few people, it inevitably gets corrupt.
Yeah,
no matter what. And that's why it fails every time. And I
think you're right. Upon execution of an idea like this, it just falls apart
because of the human condition of our fucking evil selves. Basically, the only way for this to happen is literally if the AI becomes smart enough to realize like we are the problem, and they just eliminate us, and we really are just like the evolutionary stepping stone for robots to take over the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's possible too.
That is possible. It's starting to look more and more realistic, because like as long as humans are in the equation, dude.
I think there's a way to get around this though. And again, I I answer your question with technology, and here's how. So let's say that we build these vertical farms that pump out food, right? And it pumps out so much damn food that the majority of it, because you're pumping out food because it's a business and you're selling the food, right? In this scenario, right? In this progression. So you build these vertical farms and they're as tall as skyscrapers. So it could pump out, one skyscraper could pump up enough food to feed 5 million people in a city, right? Houston.
Yeah.
So you get this technology so efficient that you're pumping out more food than there are people to eat it. So it's like now there's a surplus. So what do you do with surplus? You start shipping it.
Yeah, but see, there's a cost to that.
Oh,
How do you
yeah.
recuperate
There's a
these
cost to
costs?
that.
Yeah.
It's more efficient for other cities to build their own vertical farm and feed their own, their own population, right? That's more efficient. So once you start understanding that the more food that this skyscraper is pumping out, the cheaper it is, and the more access that the more accessible this food is for people who are impoverished, right?
Yeah.
You do this enough times in enough cities, you start having less people starving to death, and then you take those technologies and start applying it in other places as a business, and you commoditize food.
But does that also like ruin the valuation of like for people who produce food? Like there's an equilibrium they have to maintain too, right? As far as supply and demand. If you oversupply with food, doesn't that kill the value of the goods that they're producing? So
That's what
gonna have
technology. That's what technology does. It's done that for sectors of the economy since the beginning of technology. Like right now, all the Uber drivers, every taxi driver, they're gonna get completely automated out, 100% across the board. There's no need for human drivers. Just like there's not.
So the goal is, the goal is to make food as just as abundant to the point where it has no value. Like
right.
It just becomes.
Yeah, it's like
just food everywhere.
Yeah. and the thing why vertical farming is so interesting is because topsoil is becoming more scarce, and so from a surface area standpoint, you couldn't feed enough people for 7 billion people in terms of like needing topsoil. So then you turn into hydroponics facilities and aeroponics, and then you can feed the entire world population without breaking a sweat, really. And so then you start applying that, and you start using technology to erode some of this stuff that we do today, like agriculture, like all that stuff. It was good when it happened. There's better stuff out there in terms of like growing food and then using topsoil to do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I don't think this debate has been had for so long since like.
See, I disagree. I think the concept of this debate has been had for so long, but now we're talking about execution of this possibility.
Yeah, but no, the execution idea has been around. Like I said, this is a key core tenet of like the communist dream.
Dude, the communist dream had no idea of technology, had no concept of technology.
Of course they did. Science and technology, dude, was around in the 60s.
No,
come on.
Yeah, but not to this degree.
Yeah, not to this degree, but it was to a point where they could envision a society that was like 100% based on science and technology. Like, as it was all efficient, it was all distributed. The same shit we're talking about right now, dude. But the thing you can never. It's an execution thing, man. Like, how do you do this? How do you bring about this?
But that's the thing. You take the mentality that you're talking about that humans have, and you make a business out of it. That's how you do it.
That's what we're doing. That's the proven. That's the model that has proven to work.
Exactly.
And because we're experiencing our culture, our society, because like we're the innovators of capitalism, I guess. Like. Not so much anymore. But anyways, capitalism proves to like create huge economic abundance and like success for a society. But yeah, it gets to a point where where we're at now, where it's too spread or too consolidated to like a small minority, right? Like
Yeah.
the majority of it, of the wealth. And then it gets to this natural inflection point where it has to like flip. That's the problem. Like if we had, I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
I would say that
I feel like I'm just running in circles, because it's like an endless thing, man. But the reason why I think I'm constantly thinking about it is because of it's just, to me, there's just so many signs of like shit. Like I'm calling it like an inflection point, man.
yeah.
Like there's just so much shit aligning to where, I mean, everyone always says like empires fall all the time. You would consider the United States an empire, right? It was
Yeah, yeah.
probably the biggest empire of all time.
Yeah.
At some point, dude, we're gonna shit's gonna hit the fan, and we're gonna lose our space, and that never happens peacefully, dude. That's like some horrible shit.
Yeah, but if we lose our number one spot, as they say, I mean, how differently are we going to live our lives?
Well, I think extremely differently.
How so?
Well, if what do you mean? Like, we're not
Like,
going to enjoy a lot of the same things that we do today. Like I said, going to the grocery store is going to be.
oh well, that becomes a problem for the entire planet if you can't go to
Yeah,
the grocery store
I agree.
to feed your family because everything's too expensive. I mean that is a global problem, but that's not like a number one issue, right? I don't think you can go to China right now and you can feed yourself without it being that expensive, and they're not number one.
Shit, they're on their way. I feel like
They're on their way to what?
to taking over
Well,
like that
yeah,
number
but
one position.
that doesn't mean their food gets cheaper.
Well, it just means more people get lifted out of poverty. Like China is kicking ass, but 50% of their population is still starving. You know,
Yeah.
but who knows, man? I don't know. But the reason why this is all relevant, I guess, I mean, I've said it before many times. Like, I think these are the scenarios that are necessary in order for us to kind of like shift into this,
Yeah. we sort of started this podcast with the idea of perspective, and I think every generation has their impending doom, whatever it is. Like there's always a generation. Every single generation has like some sort of doom scenario that could wipe out society. Right? It was a nuclear holocaust, just like
yeah,
not even 50 years ago.
yeah.
Well, more like 60 years ago. But um, I think humanity also has this attribute to them that they tend to figure it out, right? Whatever it is, if we're dealing with global warming or a financial crisis, we have that ability to figure it out. Now, it doesn't mean that there won't be a war. It doesn't mean that there won't be like, casualties, but I am confident that we're gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah, me too. Like humans are extremely resilient. Like no
Yeah,
matter what, there's gonna be one of us left, and we're just gonna start all over again.
yeah,
I 100% believe in that, dude. Like we are a tough species. We know what to do, but
yeah,
it's important to recognize the short term. Just especially like, I mean, we're a fucking crypto podcast, dude. Like these have ramifications as far as like what you want to do with your investments.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's really the context of this conversation. Is like,
Yeah, we were talking about, because like Bitcoin's at this pivotal moment, so it's kind of like it's important to analyze like what's going on in the world, what can potentially happen in the near future, and like all that's going to have an influence on the price of whatever asset you're trying to invest in, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, and the reason why it's relevant to Bitcoin is because, I mean, if you truly believe in Bitcoin is going to be this safe haven escape from all the shit we're talking about, like if that's what it's marketed to be, right, by the supporters, the maximalists, like Bitcoin is the solution to all of this. Like everything we're witnessing now is the downfall of the traditional economic model.
yeah, yeah.
So at some point, humans are going to need to shift into some other model. And then, so the crypto maximalists are saying that's us. If you truly believe in that message, yeah.
Yeah.
If you truly believe in that message, then just this conversation means nothing to you.
Yeah.
Like, you just have your money in crypto, you just fucking leave it alone, you forget about it. But if you're like one of these day trader types that like actually cares about like the fluctuations and shit, I don't know.
Put it in gold.
I would take this conversation way more seriously and like
Yeah, I mean, I really believe that I don't want to say Bitcoin is going to be like the one, but a cryptocurrency tends to make more sense to me from a financial global perspective than any fiat currency that currently exists. Yeah. I think from an evolutionary standpoint, we needed fiat currency to get to this point. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the mechanisms to which how fiat works, it's self-defeating. And I think our the underlying discussion that we're having is, are we near the end of, or are we at the beginning stages of that, the defeat of fiat?
Yeah.
And I think our unfortunate global pandemic is accelerating that defeat because we're pumping in new money at a pace that's never been done before.
I think I'm like 100% certain. Like if things pan out the way I'm envisioning them to pan out, which is not good, and if you guys know by now, I'm like ultra pessimist. But but you can't say I've been wrong, right? Like what did I say about the coronavirus, dude?
Yeah.
Like like we were watching videos here like a month before that shit hit the United States, and I was painting a doomsday scenario.
Yeah, you already had like a stack of water, dude, like a tower of water.
Exactly. And I'm out here growing chickens in my backyard and shit. You know, like I'm ready for these end time prophecies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I know for a fact, like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is not going to react well to like any kind of catastrophic event, for sure. Because it hasn't in the past. It's not going to be like
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. It's just, what's the alternative? It's not, if everything is not going to react well. The alternative
is literally like we're back to square one. Like I'm putting my money into like fucking chickens and like
exactly.
That's bullets.
My point. Yeah, bullets. Like,
yeah. Shit like that. Like things that are actually going to help you survive. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Because gold won't. Remember how we had that conversation?
Yeah, fuck that too, dude. What the hell? No one's gonna give a shit about that.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the same page then.
Yeah.
So stock up on bullets and chickens and solar panels.
Yeah, self-sustained is what it's about. Be as self-sustainable as possible.
Yeah, you know what? Like, even if society doesn't collapse, it's still good to think this way because.
Yeah.
Like, if you have, let's say, an electric vehicle and a bunch of solar panels, then you have fuel indefinitely.
Yeah, like, that's one of my biggest worries. I'm like, I have combustion vehicles. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah,
I have to like research how to store fuel for long-term storage.
Right.
Like, I need to bury a fucking fuel tank in my freaking property or something.
Yeah.
I would very much prefer not to have that issue.
Yeah, it's a hazard.
It's just that too. Yeah, I would love if everything was run on solar, but can't. Unfortunately, that technology is too expensive.
It is. So. It is for sure.
Yeah.
You almost have to like bundle that into your home equity loan to like even consider it.
Exactly, dude. So yeah, I'm not trying to be like a fearmonger or like a salesman of fear. I'm just
thinking about the future. We're projecting. And our projection,
I'm just observing. That's it. That's what I'm gonna say about myself. I'm just observing, and I don't know, speculating. I don't know.
This doom scenario, I don't think is gonna happen overnight.
Of course not.
It's like that boiling a frog in a pot. It's that boiling water. It just creeps on that frog, and then they die. Obviously, this is a folk tale. It's not actually what happens, but that boiling water ends up killing that frog, and I think that's what's going to happen to society. It's just going to slowly erode, and we're going to be like, what the hell? Why is milk $7 this week?
Yeah.
After something last week being like $6.
Yeah. Crazy. Like, we don't even know what that's like. We've never experienced that in our life.
Yeah.
But God, I hope I'm wrong. I hope things like you say, figure themselves out, and like everyone just chills the fuck out. Everyone just,
Yeah.
and a big problem with this. That's why I don't think people are gonna chill the fuck out and everything's gonna go back to normal. Is like the media, dude. They just perpetuate this. They keep it.
That feeling of fire.
They're keeping that flame lit.
Yeah,
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 like
yeah.
it's an insane problem that doesn't get addressed because of our whole, system of freedom or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But it's kind of evil in a way. Like, I don't know. To me, I the writings on the walls, dude. Like, people are getting sick mentally because of all this shit. Man, myself included. Like, this is
Yeah.
giving me insane anxiety, dude.
Yeah, 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 for
Which
sure.
is making my health bad.
Yeah.
Like so
I know,
it's
man.
not good.
I keep telling you, man, you should stay positive.
I know, dude.
Even if like it obviously doesn't make sense to be positive because a lot of shit is going bad right now.
Mm-hmm.
But even for like your mental health, it's better to be optimistic than pessimistic.
Yeah, and it like distracts me from like the shit we're doing with Metazone and Decentraland and all that stuff. Like, I would love to be 100% in that world, but I can't, dude. It's just like external forces just pulling me, and fucking with my head.
Yeah.
It's just not cool. So yeah, part of it is like I have to just try my best to like escape it. And part of my job now, like, is like, trying my best to get Metazone more publicity or whatever, marketing, whatever you want to call it, is like being on Twitter like almost all day. And that's where most of the toxicity is.
Yeah, right?
Most of the venom, dude. It's pretty hilarious.
No,
So
I totally get you, man. It's really hard to be optimistic, especially with like, but in addition to Twitter and the media, it's like Twitter also perpetuates like negativity as well, just because that's what gets the retweets, right?
exactly.
So
yeah, you're right.
It's not a good indicator of like progress either.
Yeah.
I think the best indicator of progress would be just like the progression of technology. I mean, I can't think of anything else. I mean, look at Elon and being able to, go into space cheaply, like 10 times cheaper than NASA. I mean,
it's a bunch of factors. It's not just that. I mean, that's definitely an important one, but yeah, you have to look at mental health. You have to look at like median income. It's just
but mental health is going down. Median income is going down. I don't think that's necessarily the progression that we've made as humanity. I think mental health and all these other factors that have gone down is a result of other factors. I think the obvious progression that humanity has made, like if an alien came down and was like wondering like, what have you guys accomplished in the 100,000 years that you've been on Earth? I was like, well, we can point to technology, right? We've gone this far. You can't point at mental health or anything else, any other metric to indicate progress.
So like, yeah, well, but so if that's the benchmark you're going by, like you're saying it's okay if like
no,
80% of the population is just killing themselves because they're so miserable.
Absolutely not. No, that is a measure of civilization, and civilization is crumbling.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. That's like an objectively obvious like standard. Yeah. Like the fact that we're moving forward is the advancement of technology, right? Yeah, because every day that's like something new is being created.
That's right. Yeah.
Some new contribution to society is being made.
Yeah,
because of technology and science.
Yeah, that's about like the only part of society that continuously gets updated.
Yeah.
And I think if we model society, like I always talk about how the government should be more scientific. We need more scientists in government making decisions rather than politicians. Politicians don't know anything about how anything works.
Yeah, the problem is the majority of the population has to
for sure
adopt like a scientific mindset in order for that to happen, because these are the people who are electing,
I totally
these
agree.
Politicians, they campaign based on who they think is going to vote for them.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't hear any science jargon from these politicians, because they know nobody gives a fuck. Nobody understands science,
Yeah.
A very small percentage of the population does.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think we could easily solve it by educating the population, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah,
So all this to say
obviously.
is buy Bitcoin and buy mana,
Or don't.
or don't.
Or
Yeah,
buy chickens and
and bullets.
watermelons and water bottles and gas tanks. And bullets, whatever, man. It's up to you guys.
Oh man.
Just when shit hits the fan, just be sure to give me credit. Be like, man, I man called this
Yeah.
shit. But yeah, maybe we should end it on like a good note. What's good going on in Decentraland, dude?
um.
If some of y'all might notice, like I've been out of it for like a week, maybe even more.
Yeah, I mean,
Had
you
like
started to start. You began to phase out like about 2 weeks ago. Like
yeah,
you're getting
I've been
sick.
having like daily headaches and shit like that. Uh, just fatigue. So for a while, I thought I had the coronavirus, but
Yeah.
I didn't. It just turned out to be my health has gotten to like such a bad state
Yeah.
where like now I'm on like diabetes medication. Blood pressure's okay, but it's like it's becoming like I have to make 100% lifestyle changes.
So did the doctor recommend that you make those lifestyle changes to prevent anything, or
No, I mean preventing is like I'm so far
beyond
past
that?
that.
God damn it, man.
There's no more preventing anymore. It's like it's hit or miss. Like one day I'm feeling okay, the next day I feel like total shit. Like
Yeah.
but it's getting better. There's ways. I check my blood every day, so it's getting better. My blood glucose levels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean
it's
your
just a
lifestyle
matter
has
of
already changed because you have to do that, right? Not
yeah,
only like the food types that you have to eat.
exercise every single day. There's
Yeah.
that. Even when I like feel like absolute ass, like I gotta try. But it got so bad to the point where even when I went outside to like go for a walk around the neighborhood, I take like 20 steps and I'd be like completely out of breath.
Hmm.
My head would be pounding. He's like, dude, I'm about to pass out. Like that. See, that's when I was like, okay, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know. So that's why I've been really out of it. I haven't really been I missed like the whole second half of the soccer tournament. I don't even know who
Oh,
won.
dude. Yeah, dude. Can you believe Decentraland won?
That is kind of wild.
That is wild. And not only did they win, but they just like completely dominated everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really close. Every game that they had was just like
So why do you?
practically 10-0.
What's the deal with that?
Well,
Was it HP or what?
no, it wasn't like because they were good. It was more like they had the lowest lag than everybody else.
So it was because of HP. He probably did something or what?
No, it was. I think the servers that they were connected to were in Europe, and they're all in Europe. So,
I thought they were all in Argentina.
well, maybe their players were all in Europe, but I know that
Yeah.
they were connected to a really close server to them. So,
So they probably just had like more data to like optimize their gameplay. Like they knew.
I don't think
Like
they gamed it like in the sense where they were like collecting information to actually win. I think by their nature of their position on Earth led them to have the lowest lag and lowest ping, and they were able to see the ball where it actually was versus where people thought it was.
how
Right?
did the last game go? The championship game
It
was
was
it Stomper?
a landslide. The Central Land,
Really?
yeah.
Even Red Nitrous
I
got
mean,
Stompered.
the Central Games did win a game. Well, they tied a game, or did they win? But I think Decentraland let them win just because they couldn't just like stomp everybody.
Wow. So either they're all just total chads at that game, or there was some foul play going on. Let's just call them total chads, just to not rise any kind of like controversy.
Yeah,
Decentraland, total chads at soccer. So
yeah. I mean,
congratulations to them, man. Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't look cool, right? Like the community, it'd be cool if like some other entity from the community won, I guess.
yeah. I
Right?
mean, if if I were coaching the Decentraland team, I would have told them that if you can just stomp on everybody, you should. You should no mercy, right? If you
Yeah.
have low ping, just take advantage of it and just beat everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't fault them for like dominating, but yeah, it would have been cool if someone in the community won this tournament.
Yeah, but at the same time, fuck it, dude. Like they're participants just like the rest of us, right? It's a decentralized
For
world.
sure, yeah.
Like they're supposed to be like this decentralized entity.
They just happen to build the operating system and they want a game that somebody else built. I mean, it's
Yep. There
not a
you go.
big issue.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
cool.
I don't think anyone thinks like they cheat or anything like that. So that's not in the not in
Okay.
the air. That's not on the streets.
It's not like and it's not like the stakes are so high where like anybody really cares that much either.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much you
Well,
believe in
there's a gold backed
NFTs.
trophy, right?
Yeah, but
How much?
it's like backed by like a gram of gold, so or
It's like
10
20
grams.
bucks or something.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It feels like $1,000 trophy worth of, gold,
Gold.
like an ounce of gold, like $1,800 or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there'd be some like WTFs going on in the chat.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. What else is going on in DCL?
So Decentraland, I don't know if you noticed the mana spike, but that was caused by an announcement by Decentraland that they're collaborating with Samsung with their crypto wallet.
That's right. I saw that. Definitely saw that.
And
I was
so
hoping the mana pump would be more long lived, but
it sort of is. I mean, it's like in the high 4 cents right now.
yeah,
Right
I guess
now,
it could still keep running.
Yeah, right now, for a while, it was like in the high 3s. So
That's true. Yeah, it's better than it was like a month ago.
yeah,
so
I mean, it
like,
went up 25% in a day, or 50% in a day, almost. So
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
Mhm.
But what the technology does that they're providing is that they have a secure element, I think, dedicated to cryptocurrencies. So if you don't know what a secure element is that this little hardware
It's like part of
device.
the phone, right?
It's part of the phone, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's tamper resistant. So if you try to break up the phone and try to use an electron microscope to see what's inside the secure element, it'll just self-destruct by its design. But
fuck, dude.
well, yeah, self-destruct. It sounds fancy, but like there's like a chemical membrane in there that will like destroy everything in the memory. So anyway, what's interesting about this is Samsung obviously recognizes cryptocurrency, and Samsung's usually the first one out of the phone manufacturers to start innovating. They were the first ones to do OLED, all these things. So they're going to be the first ones to do crypto. And if you have one of these phones, it's only on the new phones. So it's a hardware-based generation of your private keys. So make sure if you have one of these phones to record those recovery seeds, because if you lose your phone, as many do, your money's gone.
So in these seeds, whenever you like download this new wallet, you're gonna get like new seed phrases or something for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then it should operate just like any other wallet, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to operate like any other wallet. You can put your Decentraland land on there.
It's just a little more secure. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, it's just a little bit more, it's as secure as they're going to get. It's a secure element.
Okay.
It holds your private keys. Nothing can access your private keys except the little wallet application that's on the phone. It's
so do you think
designed
it's
that way.
better to use that over like a MetaMask or something like that, or a Ledger?
No, it's no different than a Ledger in terms of security, other than the fact that there's an onboard. It's like, think of a Ledger literally embedded inside your phone.
That's nice. If it's easier to interface with than the Ledger, then I might use it.
Yeah.
It probably is.
You
right?
should consider getting one. I mean, you need a new phone anyways. Your phone is like from 1996, dude.
Look at this fucking dinosaur, dude. Look how shattered this bitch is, dude. It's so bad. You're right, man. This is like a 6-year-old phone or something. Maybe 5. I don't know.
Yeah,
cool.
man.
Maybe it's time to upgrade.
It's like Gen 1 Android.
I mean, it still looks like a sleek, sexy phone, don't it? Like, look at that thing.
All right,
this is 6-year-old technology, man.
Turn it on.
Like,
let me see.
Oh, turn it on?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it looks fine. I mean, those bezels though are like killing my eyes though.
See, okay, this is what drives me nuts. Like, just because there's a little bit of blackness here, like that's what 6 years of technology advancement looks like to you. It's like, whoa, dude. Like I got like half an inch of screen time. Like,
well, you get a full inch on that one, but
see what
every inch counts, man.
I guess, dude. That's what she said, right? But see, that's the problem when Steve Jobs died, dude. Now it's like this is the benchmark of innovation nowadays.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. I know. How
It's
is it
crazy.
possible that, one of the greater innovators of our time dies from pancreatic cancer? Like, what are the odds?
Not very good.
Yeah,
Like pancreatic cancer, here's one of the rarer cancers. So, but
yeah,
once you get it, it's like almost a guaranteed death sentence. So,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed like a pretty healthy guy. From what I read, he was like a fruitarian or something. That probably had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, but yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
pancreas.
Fruit is very high in sugar. It's probably like nonstop like sugar processing by that pancreas or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
Fuck if I know, dude. I'm not a doctor, but I don't understand cancer, dude. I wish that shit wasn't real.
Yeah,
I hate it. It's like one of my
that's like the
most
ultimate
hates in this world.
RNG of life.
Exactly. And being like an anxious hypochondriac like myself, it's always like in the back of my mind. Like this whole health episode I had, I was like, dude, I'm definitely dying of cancer. Like that's
Yeah,
all I
yeah.
can think about. But
I'm trying to think of
luckily it's
other
not
other
that.
developments. I mean, I know Oscar's.
Yeah, we're still Oscar's still cranking away, making I played the his latest version. Like I saw he added in the recoil animation for the guns, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
He added it. He pretty much changed the entire game type. Now it's like actual waves that come at you. But I think max wave is 3, right?
yeah. So,
Currently.
do you want to jump in?
Sure, why not?
Jump into
I'm
the
already in
world.
actually. Oh nope, I crashed.
I
You do
think
another demo.
I think coronavirus is Corona zombies is crashing just because the latest update was there's something wrong with it. But you can't see it right now, I man. But I'm in where Corona Zombies is, but right next door is a deployment of an egg nest.
Yeah, I can't see that.
So go ahead and jump in, and then I'll lead you to it.
I'm here, dude.
Oh shit!
You
I
don't
mean,
see
I don't
me?
mean literally right next door. Do you see me?
Oh shit, I see you.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
you can't just see me and not wave. Oh, what the heck is that, dude?
oh yeah, look at it.
Oh my god, we got a new one, dude.
So that
You're not
this
sharing a screen, are you?
no, I'm not sharing my screen. This is
Okay.
Finray.
This is who?
Finray,
Hold on.
the little blue guy.
Yeah, I'm watching him waddle, dude. He's got a great waddling walk. It's hilarious. He's got like the dumbest smile on his face, dude.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love him.
Okay.
For those of you, obviously you can't watch because we're not allowed to show this stuff because
Well,
this isn't our game. We can't just like show whatever we want unless they tell us to, right?
yeah, I mean, I feel like this is fine because pretty soon we're going to be releasing the next meta, which is the egg nest. So this center piece here that's rotating that says Ethermon, that's going to be like the egg nest.
Okay.
And then go ahead
But
and
there's no egg there.
no, there isn't. So click on it, and then
Okay.
you'll see this menu item of the different Ethermon that's going to be available pretty soon.
Oh my god. This is so good. Look at these names. Yarmeow. Oh wait. So these are already existing Ethermons, right? Yeah, I've seen pictures of these.
Yeah, so these Ethermon are brand new.
All of them?
Like, yeah, these are brand new. They never
Like you can't go to ethermon.io and buy these things yet.
correct. You cannot.
Wow, that's crazy. Dude, they're fucking beautiful, dude. I love these things.
Yeah.
I don't know who does their artwork, but kudos to you guys, man. This is really hot. And this is like, so I tell Oscar, man, because like in our game, Corona Zombies, we're not gonna have like little monsters. It's gonna be like guns, right, and weapons and stuff.
Yeah. So instead of Ethermon NFTs, we're gonna have weapon NFTs.
Exactly. So we need to freaking contact whoever their artist is, dude.
Yeah, I know.
This
So we need like 2D artists, but then we'll also need a 3D artist.
yeah.
But for now, I think we're gonna use like standard assets to test it out, and pretty soon it'll be deployable. It'll be deployable for those who have a Corona Zombie meta already deployed, so they
Yeah.
can start testing it out. But if you click buy 2,000 mana here,
Oh yeah. Sorry.
you'll have the countdown, and then you'll see the egg, and then
Oh, I
it'll
see it. Then what?
hatch. So it's not functioning yet, but it will be pretty soon.
What do you mean it's gonna hatch though? Like it's gonna be like an actual animation of it hatching?
Yeah,
And then what? Like the actual Ethermon's gonna come out of it?
yeah. The actual Ethermon will come out and
What the
start walking
fuck,
around.
dude? That's ridiculous. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me click on this thing. Oh shit, dude! It's already happening, kind of. I
Oh,
clicked on it and I saw like a
little animation.
yeah, it looked like a fucking like a sun exploded. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Yeah. So
okay.
they're gonna work on the animations a little bit, and then so when you interact with this egg, when you purchase this egg, you're actually interacting with Ethermon's smart contract,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll be ready to go.
Damn,
And then
dude,
all
this
of a
is so
sudden
cool.
you get an NFT in your wallet, and then you'll see your Ethermon potentially Finray, um, as yours.
So this is already like amazing in the sense that like you can have a shit ton of these little things just roaming on your land. Like just seeing a new Ethermon is already like mind blowing to me
Yeah.
because I've been looking at the same two ones for so long, right? Kiari and Cobras. So now there's a new one. It's like a whole new world. But my question is, how do I mean, this is probably not going to ever happen in the near future, but how does this get taken to the next level to where like these NFTs can follow you everywhere? You know what I mean?
So I think there might be a chance that Decentraland starts enabling like the concept of pets, so that you can like wear put this Cobras as a wearable, and then it'll just follow you throughout Decentraland.
Like it's like stay by your side maybe
Yeah,
or behind you,
it'll
whatever.
just follow you,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then
like so then basically it's all on Decentraland's shoulders to enable this.
yes,
Okay. That's basically what I wanted to know.
yeah.
Yeah. So Decentraland just has to make the decision to
But I wouldn't hold my breath on it just because they have like other priorities like to
yeah.
consider. So it'll be a
Yeah,
while.
it's like nowhere on the roadmap, so
Yeah.
you can't expect anything outside the roadmap.
Yeah.
But
So I
this,
just
like I
want
said, this is good enough. Like for me, if I'm a landowner, which I am, like just to be able to interact and chill with these Ethermons is pretty cool.
yeah.
But I know there's a segment of the people out there that if you were able to like go to a fucking concert with your Ethermon, like that's like some game breaking shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like
for
it's
sure.
badass.
For sure.
Pretty cool, man.
So let's go check out Corona Zombies though.
Okay.
And this might crash, but it's worth a test.
Oh damn! I jumped right in. Did you too?
Um
Yeah, you're in here. I see you.
yeah.
What are you trying to test?
Is everything frozen for you?
No, I'm freaking shooting zombies, dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm frozen, dude.
Try hitting the tombstone.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it, but nothing's happening. It says start battle, but it's not working. I think I gotta refresh.
Okay. Are you sharing your screen for this?
No, just because it's already a shared experience, so whatever you're seeing, I'm seeing.
So you're sharing my screen.
No.
Okay, so people listening, they're not watching us play. Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to know. Oh, I see. Oscar put in a new weapon or a new M4 skin. This one looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And then there's also a melee weapon.
Oh yeah, I saw that. There's an animation too.
Yep.
Hold on. Watch out. That's a nice little donk. A donk on the head animation, dude. That's perfect.
Okay, I'm in. So level 1, you've got 8 kills.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're waiting for the next wave, right?
It still says free to play. When I was playing earlier, it was like an actual countdown timer. How can we call these Zoomers, dude?
I have no idea. I think he's
Yeah.
like,
He must not like Zoomers.
I wonder what he's gonna use to replace the box.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. You talking about like the avatar box?
Yeah, the avatar box.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. Whether or not there's potential there for like an avatar economy. You know what I mean? Where like if you want, you could purchase an Arnold Schwarzenegger NFT and then like load in as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Can you shoot that zombie?
Yeah, it's
There you
dead.
go.
Or it could just be like some default avatar, kind of like how Moonshot did it with their astronauts.
Yeah.
You could do that. Oh shit! Oh, I saw he added in the blood animation too. Wait,
Yeah.
why did I think I shot you? Hold on.
No, it's because I was shooting at you. That's why.
Oh, you cunt.
But that's how you know it works, though.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Well,
why
yeah.
are we waiting though?
I think because we're like on a early level. It's like
It's like the easiest.
there's not that many spawning. Oh, let me hit the tombstone. Oh, here we go. You see the leaderboard change?
No, let me hit it. Nope, nothing changed for me.
I'm on wave 1. It says.
Oh, I see wave
Okay.
1. Yeah.
Okay. All right, kill that thing, dude. Finish it. There you go.
Got it. There was one like right on your ass, dude.
So what are these these little boxes supposed
So they
to
represent a
symbolize?
dead zombie,
Okay, that makes sense.
and once it's dead, and another one spawns in, the other one disappears. The dead one disappears.
It'd be cool if like part of the gameplay is whenever they die, there's like a toxic gas around them, right? So you have to like stay away from it. It's kind of like the whole coronavirus element to it.
Yeah, that's true.
If you like step on it, you get more infected. Maybe we should tell Oscar that.
He's like, I don't know how to do gas in Decentraland.
It's like a whole new physics engine.
Yeah. But it would be a sprite, so it wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, you figured it out.
I think you shot at me, dude.
I think I hit you. Oh yeah, dude, I'm fucking you up. Damn, dude, these guns are powerful.
Dude, I'm at 2% health.
My bad, dude. So PvP is gonna be the shit whenever it comes out, for sure.
Oh man, I died, but then I re-healed.
Oh, we're on wave 2. So how come we're playing this like and not showing the podcast?
No, I am showing it. I am showing
Oh,
it.
you are? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not sharing the screen because I have you like in window mode.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay, as long as the people watching.
Yeah,
so
they're watching.
If you watched the last podcast we did with Oscar, there's been some updates. I mean, we still have like little square targets instead of like actual zombies because we haven't figured out like what our 3D models will look like, right? But I mean, they represent the zombies, so you kind of get the idea.
Yeah, so we're gonna have full 3D assets for this stuff. We just gotta figure that out, but it's not as important as figuring out the gameplay. So that's what we're doing.
True. Yeah, there's still a lot we got to think about. A lot. Holy crap!
See, this gets more interesting when there's multiple players.
I'm always staying on the move. That's the thing. I'm trying to, at least. I don't know. Like, okay, yeah. Oh, dude, I shot you again, I think. So that's definitely going to be part of it. You can't shoot your teammate. You accidentally kill him. Okay, so 3 waves complete. Ends in 10. What does that mean? It's almost over?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, we fucked up these guys.
And you got 39 kills, man.
Dude, that would make it insanely way more difficult. Like, if you couldn't get close to these dead ones, like, it'd be really hard, actually.
See, right now, in the middle of a wave, you gotta heal yourself. As long as you got enough med kits.
Oh yeah, that's right. I never heal myself. Let's see.
So the reason why you can't hear anything is because we turn off the sound. If I turn on the sound, it's way too loud.
Yeah, I also turned off the sound. Oh, watch out, dude. Zoomer.
Nice.
I think it's over because now it just says free to play. Yeah, it's over.
Oh, okay. So right now there's only 3 waves. So with this sort of gameplay, you'll be able to progress in levels, and the NFTs themselves would also be saving the level progression of the weapon. So in the metadata, so when you sell that NFT on OpenSea you'll be able to see what level it's at. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. I don't know. Like, are there NFTs that exist like that? As far as like,
I'm sure there is,
yeah,
but
we're like
it's not.
we're not too
We're not
like well.
we're not like trailblazing here.
Yeah.
Other than the
Well,
fact that we're doing it in Decentraland.
yeah.
Because what you can do in other games is progress in their like web-based game, and then the NFT holds all that progression.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing it. The only way you can progress in our NFTs is by playing in Decentraland. So that's the only difference.
That's right. That's right. That makes sense. So I guess what's going on right now, like we're not actively in a game.
Yeah,
There's
right
still
now it's
little
sort of like
zombies spawning.
right now this is like a lobby.
Yeah, but this is like the free to play eventually, right? Like you could roam from cemetery to cemetery.
That's true.
Looking for these free to kill zombies to level up your weapons, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's correct.
But if you pay for like a contract, I'm calling a contract or quest, whatever you want to call it, you'll advance much quicker that way. And I think I'm not 100% yet, but I think that's what we're doing right here. All right, pretty cool.
But yeah, so this is it. I think we're gonna make some more progress this week, and hopefully we get this out to all the Corona Zombie holders right now. And the other main thing that we're working on is we are on our way to enabling the metas to be NFTs. It's going to take a little bit more time, but that's always like in our like to-do list. And so it's just making sure the architecture is there. The idea is we want all creators to be able to mint their own NFTs. And once they can do that, then they'll be able to once people buy them, that they can trade them on OpenSea and all these other marketplaces. So that's always our main objective. It's just going to take a little bit of time just because of limited human resources at the moment, but nothing that we can't overcome with a little time. So I appreciate everybody's patience on that. We will get there. The most important thing is, if you think about it, these NFTs are only valuable if they work in Decentraland. If they don't work, then what's the point? So we're focusing on the most important aspects in terms of value of an NFT, is making them work and functional and all that. And then we'll get to all the details like issuing the NFTs and stuff. So we'll get there.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Just to see what kind of market traction these MetaZone metas get, like on the OpenSea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. It's like a whole new economy, really, whenever you think about it. Like once these are NFTs.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think you'll see a lot of buzz.
Yeah, and there's a lot more interest like from the larger NFT community on, valuable deployable NFTs, right? I mean, this is an open world where your NFTs are deployable. So that's never been done without MetaZone, so that's good.
Yeah. So we'll keep chugging along doing that. And yeah, so Decentraland's cool. Hopefully I get back on my fucking rhythm.
Yeah.
And stop worrying about what's going on in the world so much. But either way, exciting times are ahead, dude. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys listening for sure. And,
yeah.
We'll be back next week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner and MetaZone.io. And like and subscribe. And we will be back with another podcast next week.
All right, guys, we're out. See ya.